Dear students, in this video I am going to explain solutions to some simple numerical problems related to fluid dynamics. Before going to numerical problems, let us recall Bernoulli's equation. For steady incompressible flow of an ideal fluid, P by rho g plus V square by 2g plus z is equal to constant, where P by rho g is pressure head, which is nothing but pressure energy per unit weight. Similarly, V square by 2g is velocity head or kinetic head, which is the ratio of kinetic energy to the unit weight of the fluid, which that is V square by 2g. And z is potential head or datum head or reference head, which is potential energy per unit weight. So the sum of all the heads is same at a point for a steady incompressible flow of an ideal fluid. If this is applied to flow between any two sections 1 1 and 2 2 as shown in the picture, so the details are presented on the picture, where P1, A1 and V1 are the pressure intensity, area of cross section and velocity at the section 1 1. It is considered as inlet in this picture, and at section 2 2, P2, A2 and V2 are the corresponding parameters. Z1 is the height of the center of section 1 1 from the reference, that is datum there, and similarly Z2 is the height of center of section 2 2 from the datum line. So for this condition, if you want to write the Bernoulli's equation, then it is P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2. Remember, because of this we can state this Bernoulli theorem as: in a steady continuous flow of a frictionless incompressible fluid, the sum of the potential head, pressure head and kinetic head remains the same at all sections. The previous equation is for an ideal fluid, but all fluids in nature are real fluids. They possess some viscosity, and because of which they offer some resistance to flow. Along with that, if there is a constriction or if there is an obstruction in the flow passage, or if there is a sudden contraction in the pipeline, or if there is a sudden expansion, or if there is an angular bend, then there will be some losses in energy, and to account for these losses, then we have to write this Bernoulli's equation separately. So in that case, the total head at any section is equal to that at any subsequent section plus the loss of head between the two sections. This is because most of the liquids are real, that is they are somewhat viscous, because of which there will be frictional resistance. And from section to section, definitely there will be some loss or expenditure of energy by the liquid in overcoming such resistances. Because of that, we can say that energy available at the downstream is always less than that at the upstream section by an amount equivalent to the loss. So here we term it as frictional loss because it is the major loss. The maximum amount of loss is attributed to the frictional loss or viscous resistance loss, whereas there are minor losses like sudden expansion, sudden contraction due to obstruction in the flow, or due to bends also. We'll discuss that in detail in the next sections. So Bernoulli's equation for such real fluids between sections 1 1 and 2 2 as shown in the sketch. For the similar conditions where HL is the loss of energy head, then we can rewrite this equation for Bernoulli's equation: P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g plus Z1 is equal to P2 by rho g plus v2 square by 2g plus z2 plus hl. So you can rewrite this equation as E1 is equal to E2 plus HL also, where E1 is the total energy at section 1 and E2 is the total energy at section 2 and HL is, I repeat, it's the loss of energy head between the two sections. Taking up numerical problem on this, in this sketch it shows a pipe of varying diameter conveying water from section 1 to section 2. The diameter at the sections are respectively 300 millimeter and 600 millimeter. The pressure at section 1 being 6.75 meter of water column. Find the pressure head at section 2 if the rate of flow in the pipe is 0.360 meter cube per second. First, given the sketch, you have to analyze the conditions. Since 1 is considered to be inlet, because it is given that water is being conveyed from section 1 to section 2. So at section 1 diameter is 300 millimeter, and at section 2, that is at the outlet, diameter is 600 millimeter. And also Z1, that is the datum head for section 1 is 3 meter, and section datum head at section 2 is 7.5 meter. So it is all listed out here in the data. Q is directly given in meter cube per second, 0.36 meter cube per second, and inlet diameter at section 1 listed out as 0.3 meters because it is to be converted into SI units. Expressed in SI units, D2 is 0.6 meters. Now this pressure head at section 1 is directly given in meter of water column. So that is 6.75 meter of water, P1 by rho g is given. So potential head at 1 and 2 given. This is all to be tabulated before we go ahead with the Bernoulli's equation for this case. Before we just check out this, first we should understand that this is an ideal flow because there is nothing mentioned about the losses of energy. So for Bernoulli's equation for flow between sections 1 and 2, we can write the equation. And now if you look at the equation, the variables v1 and v2 are not known in order to find out p2 by rho g. P2 by rho g is the expected answer because that is the pressure head at section 2. But v1 and v2 can be found out by using continuity equation. So by continuity equation, we know that discharge or flow rate Q is equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2, where A1 and A2 are the cross sectional areas at section 1 and 2 respectively, which are given by pi d1 square by 4 and pi d2 square by 4 respectively. V1 and V2 are the velocities at section 1 and 2 respectively. Now using that, since the diameters are known, we can find out V1 is equal to Q by A1, and A1 is pi d1 square by 4, and from that you can get the value of velocity at 1 as 5.093 meter per second. If you understood this properly, we can find out velocity at 2 by changing this V2 as Q by A2. So V2 becomes 1.273 meter per second. Remember, since we are dealing with incompressible fluid most of the times in this chapter, we can see that from a if the flow is through a diverging section, if the inlet is smaller than the outlet, then the velocity decreases because flow rate is Q is equal to A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. We can see that in a diverging flow, velocity decreases during its flow, whereas in converging flow, as in case of a convergent nozzle, the velocity increases. So now substituting all the values in the Bernoulli's equation, the only unknown is P2 by rho g. That answer now is 3.489 meter of water. Always keep it in mind when it is asked about energy head. In this case, it is pressure head. It is to be expressed in terms of meter of the fluid which is flowing. So it is, I repeat, P2 by rho g is 3.489 meter of water. Next question. Water flows at the rate of 75 liter per second in a pipe whose diameters at section 11 and 22 are 300 millimeter and 150 millimeter respectively, which are at heights 5 meter and 3 meter above the datum. If the pressure at section 11 is 450 kilopascal, find the pressure at section 22 neglecting loss of energy. So the last line says that find the pressure at section 22 neglecting loss of energy. So this case is of an ideal fluid, so it should be E1 is equal to E2, where energy at section 11 should be equal to energy at section 22. And it is not mentioned in this problem whether the flow is from section 11 or 22 or from 22 to 11. So because we know that anyhow energy head or energy at section 11 is equal to energy or energy head at section 22. So let us first formulate the problem correctly. We just take this section which is where diameter d1 is 300 millimeter as section 11 and d2 as 150 millimeter, that is at section 22. And conversion between liters and meter cube per second is that 1 liter is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube. So using that here, Q is 75 into 10 power minus 3 meter cube per second. So the diameter d1 and d2 are 0.3 and 0.15 meters respectively. Potential heads are given as 5 and 3 meter for 1 and 2 sections respectively, and P1 is given as 450 kilopascal, and I want to express that as pascals, so 450 into 10 power 3 pascals. Now we have to repeat this procedure of considering the Bernoulli's equation between sections 1 and 2. Now we will have to go through these steps to find out V1 and V2 using continuity equation. For this case, velocity becomes equal to 1.01061 meter per second, and velocity at section 22 is 4.244 meter per second, and the density of water can be taken as 1000 kg per meter cube, even if it is not given in the problem. So substituting all this, we are left with P2 by rho g. First, in order to find out the pressure at section 22, first we'll find out the pressure head at that section, and later we'll use that to get P2. So P2 is now P2 by rho g is pressure head at section 22, that is 47.01 meters of water, because water is flowing through the pipeline. And now in order to get P2, we have rho as density of water 1000 kg per meter cube and G is 9.81. From that we can get P2 is equal to 461.18 into 10 power 3 pascals or 461 kilopascals. Water is flowing through a taper pipe of length 100 meter having diameter 600 millimeter at the upper end and 300 millimeter at the lower end at the rate of 50 liters per second. The pipe has a slope of 1 by 30 or 1 in 30. Find the pressure at the lower end if the pressure at the higher level is 19.62 Newton per centimeter squared. Even in this problem, it is not mentioned whether the flow is from a smaller end to a larger end. Since this is a case of ideal flow wherein there is no energy loss, we can take that energy at section 1 1 is equal to energy at section 2 2. So we can formulate this problem like this: 1 1 as with diameter 600 millimeter and 2 2 as with diameter 300 millimeter. And in order to find out the difference between the centers of section 1 1 and 2 2, we can use the length of the pipe and the slope. Length of the pipe is that inclined length of the axis shown in the picture, that is 100 millimeter, whereas the slope is 1 in 30. So in order to get the vertical height between the two centers, we can have this 100 meter multiplied by 1 by 30. So we get 3.33 as the difference between Z1 and Z2. And it is given that P1, that is at the higher level, pressure is given as 19.62 Newton per centimeter squared. And before we use it in Bernoulli's equation, we shall convert that into pascals or Newton per meter squared. So it is P1 is equal to 19.62 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter square. Bernoulli's equation for sections 1 1 and 2 2. Now in order to get continuity equation, in order we can find out from continuity equation velocities v1 and v2 given the diameters. V1 is 0.1768 meter per second, and similarly V2 is 0.7074 meter per second. And we know that density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. Using that, we can find out P2 by rho g. P2 by rho g is the pressure at section 2 2. That for this case it is 23.3 meter of water, and from that by the same method which we employed in the previous problem, we can get P2 as 22.86 into 10 power 4 Newton per meter square or pascals, or in order to express that into Newton per centimeter square, we just have to divide it by 10 power 4. So we get P2 is equal to 22.86 Newton per centimeter square. A pipe gradually tapers from a diameter of 0.3 to 0.1 meter over the length as shown in the figure. It conveys kerosene specific gravity 0.8 at 50 liters per second. The pressure at the bottom end is 200 kilonewton per meter squared. If the pressure at the upper end is not to fall below 100 kilonewton per meter squared, find the value of Z. The sketch is given, and the condition is that at the upper end, that is P2 should not fall below 100 kilonewton per meter square. That is, the maximum restriction is that P2 can be 100 kilonewton per meter squared, and P1 is given as 200 kilonewton per meter squared. D1 and D2 are given. In this case, it is not water which is flowing through the pipe. Instead, it is kerosene with a specific gravity of 0.8. So when it is given specific gravity, you have to find out the density to use it in the Bernoulli's equation. So the pressure is expressed in kilonewton per meter squared. So we can convert that into Newton per meter squared by multiplying it by 10 power 3. So we have from continuity equation, since the flow rate is known and the diameters are known, we can find out the velocities at section 1 1 and 2 2. And also density of the oil is found out by multiplying the specific gravity of the oil by water density. So density of water is 1000 kg per meter cube. So we get rho is equal to 800 kg per meter cube for the given oil or kerosene here. Now using the Bernoulli's equation, wherein Z2 is the only unknown, the height of the section 2 from Z1, or from the reference line. The reference line is taken as the level of center of section 1 1. So everything else in the right hand side are known. So from that we can get the value of Z2 as 6.38 meters. That's the answer expected. A pipeline carrying an oil of specific gravity 0.8 changes in diameter from 30 centimeter at position A to 50 centimeter diameter at position B, which is at a 5 meter higher level. If the pressure at A and B are 20 Newton per centimeter square and 15 Newton per centimeter square respectively, and discharge is 150 liters per second, determine the loss of head and the direction of flow. Clearly this problem is on a real fluid where there is some energy loss. So let us formulate this problem. B is at a higher altitude than A, so it is at a height difference of 5 meters. If we take reference section as AA, the center of AA, so then you can say ZA is 0 and ZB is 5 meter. From the formulation it is clear. And DA and DB are given 0.3 and 0.5 meters respectively, and as soon as you get it in centimeters, you have to express that in meters. And Q is 150 liters per second, so that is equal to 0.515 meter cube per second. Specific gravity of oil is 0.8, that we can get the density from it. And pressures are expressed, PA and PB are expressed in Newton per centimeter squared, that is to be expressed in Newton per meter squared. Now using the continuity, but this time the section is considered as AA and BB, and we don't know whether the flow is from AA or BB. So what we have to do is we have to consider them as independent. So let us first find out what is the total energy at AA and BB separately, and from which we can find out the loss of head and also the direction. But before that, since we know Q, that is discharge, and also the diameters, let us find out velocity at section AA and section BB from continuity equation. So we get velocity at section A is 2.122 meter per second. Similarly at B 0.764 meter per second, and density of oil is 800 kg per meter cube. As I mentioned earlier, first we'll find out the total energy head at section AA. EA is given by PA by rho g plus VA square by 2g plus ZA. So each of these potential, kinetic and pressure and energy head are calculated and summed up to get the total energy. Since we have the values for PA, VA and also ZA, and density is known, we can find out the energy head at A. So now that is 25.714 meter of oil. And remember to express this energy head in terms of head of that fluid or height column of that fluid. So it is oil here, meter of oil. And now we have energy head at BB, that is EB is equal to PB by rho g plus VB square by 2g plus ZB. Using this we can find out, since we know all the values, we can find out EB. This is 24.142 meter of oil. Clearly EA is greater than EB, and it is discussed earlier also that in the direction of fluid flow, energy loss, the energy will be decreasing because of the losses, and that decrease in energy will be equal to the energy loss. So we'll make use of that idea to find out the flow direction and this. So since EA is greater than EB, definitely the flow is from section AA to section BB. And we know that Bernoulli's equation applied for this case when the flow is from A to B is EA is equal to EB plus HL. So from which we can find out HL is equal to EA minus EB, and substituting the values of EA and EB, we can find out HL, that is the loss of head, is 1.572 meters of oil. These are common kind of questions you get it, where the loss of head and the direction of flow is to be found out. A pump has tapering pipe running full of water. The pipe is placed vertically with the diameter at the base on top being 1.2 meter and 0.6 meter respectively. The pressure at the upper end is 240 millimeter of mercury vacuum, while the pressure at the lower end is 50 kilonewton per meter squared. Assume the head loss to be 20% of difference in velocity and calculate the discharge if the flow is vertically upwards and the difference of elevation is 3.9 meter. We shall formulate this problem. The base of the pipe is to be taken as 1 section because it is given that the flow is vertically upwards. So section 2 is at a height of 3.9 meter from section 1 and it is given that the upper end pressure is 240 millimeter of mercury. So that is to be converted into Newton per meter square. So for that, first thing, minus 0.24 meter of mercury, millimeter is expressed in meters, and minus sign is introduced because of the vacuum pressure. And now in order to convert that minus 0.24 meter of mercury into Newton per meter square, multiply it by its specific weight, that is rho into G. Rho for mercury is 13,600, G is 9.81. From that we get P2 is equal to minus 32019.84 Newton per meter square. In this case, HL is given as 20% of difference in velocity head. Remember, for an incompressible flow through a converging section, the velocity increases from inlet to exit. So velocity at 2 is greater than velocity at 1. Because of that, the difference in kinetic head or velocity head is v2 square by 2g minus v1 square by 2g, and the head loss for this case is 20% of it. So HL now is equal to 0.2 into v2 square by 2g minus v1 square by 2g. And remember this problem, it is expected to find out discharge. So we can't find out the velocities directly, but from Bernoulli's equation we'll have to find out v1 and v2, and but we can use the continuity equation to find the relation between v1 and v2. Bernoulli's equation between sections 1 and 2 for a real flow is p1 by rho g plus v1 square by 2g plus z1 is equal to p2 by rho g plus v2 square by 2g plus z2 plus hl, that is the loss of head. And we also know that continuity equation q is equal to a1 v1 is equal to a to v2, from which we can find out that since the diameters are given, we can find out that this a1 by a2, remember we have a1 is equal to pi d1 square by 4, a2 is equal to pi d2 square by 4. From that, and d1 is 1.2 meter and d2 is 0.6 meter. Using that, we can find out the ratio of a1 and a2. A1 by a2 is 4. And from continuity equation, q is equal to a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. So using that, v2 is a1 by a2 into v1, because, and we just established that a1 by a2 is 4, because of which v2 is 4 times v1. That is, you can cross check that velocity at section 2 is 4 times greater than that, or 4 times that of v1. So now we can have this substitutions in the equation. in terms, look at that in the feet, since v2 is 4 times v1, we replace v2 by 4 v1 in the equation, so that we can get v1 value, that is 0.987 meter per second. And when this v1 is obtained, we can, you know that q is equal to a1 v1, and a1 is pi by 4 into d1 square, where d1 is 1.2 meters. We can find out the discharge as 1.116 meter cube per second. So this problem is on finding out discharge given velocity heads indirectly or the loss of head. So considering all this, we can find out discharge.